Hello, and welcome back to Security Breach Minecraft. It's been, I think, going on very close to 2 years since I've shown anything in here, and it's also been 2 years since I've even actually touched the world. Haha. But I realized the other day that I never actually showed the whole map. As in, there were a couple things that I added and never made videos on just because I wanted to do it in a specific order and it just fell through. So I didn't do it, and I just never finished doing Pizzaplex stuff. Isn't that weird? So basically, today I am going to be showing you the cut content of Security Breach built in Minecraft. 2 years ago, while I was building the Pizzaplex, I planned out to build the cut areas. There were quite a few areas in Security Breach that were cut but still accessible in the files of the game, so I could open them and look at them and build them for you, for me, here in the world. And I did that, and then I never showed you. So I'm going to show you those. I don't have the time lapses anymore. They got deleted when I updated the game. I have been updating the game for the 2 years that I have not been playing on it. I haven't touched this world in a long time. I haven't edited it at all. It's just the exact same as it was. So I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna get rid of these, and I'm gonna show you.
I burn truck!
I don't know if that's even gonna pick up very well. My original plan for the cut content was that it was going to be accessible after you beat all of the mini games, and that includes Princess Quest, which I did finish and showed, though I believe it is now broken due to various updates to the game. Monty Golf, which was going to be this very elaborate, like fully functional mini golf in Minecraft that I don't think anyone wanted to finish because it was very annoying. And Balloon World, which I had an idea for, but I never actually put into practice. And I might show those off later too, but essentially the idea was that when you beat all 5 of those, you could unlock the cut content by pushing this button right here, the 6 a.m. save station, and it turns on the content. And I'm going to turn up the gamma so you can see. It doesn't look very different, but there's a door right over there, and I'm not sure what order I'm going to do this in, but basically every single cut content area that was in the game files and was still accessible is in here, minus the hive room because I didn't want to do that. And as well as that, every door that could previously not open, these doors were all blocked off in the game, now open, so you have more travel. Also, there's a Nightmarian plush in here now. That guy got cut. There's a fun fact for you. So here in the lobby, I don't think there's all that much that was cut. However, there is right over here a new hallway, and this hallway leads down to the West Arcade. This is what it looks like with the lighting off. This was actually one of the hallways that was shown when Dawko was originally being sent like teaser images for the game. This hallway was shown, but it never got added. It leads to the atrium here and to the West Arcade. And along with that, there's a couple other things here in the West Arcade that I added. I think this is one of the more robust areas, such as these back hallways. These were shown, kind of. There's a shot in one of the trailers of DJ Music Man coming out of this pipe, and you could see that there was very distinctly a hallway here, and these all were hallways at one point. These are not in the file I just wanted to add these because I thought they were kind of neat. It's a very simple one. Over here, there is just an extra hallway that leads to the prize counter. Of course, behind over here, I don't know if I even showed this. There is the fire exit, which is technically kind of visible in game. I don't remember how that. Down here in the west arcade, there is an extra door. This one doesn't lead anywhere special. Based off of maps of Security Breach, cut maps, there was a hallway that led down to here, which is the what is this one called? This is this room, the one you get tickets at. I don't remember the name of it. It's been a long time. There we go. Up here, this is the last thing, I think. No, in the West Arcade, is this extra hall right here. This leads up to the 3rd floor. This is what the elevator replaces on this side. This door doesn't go anywhere. Is this nothing? Okay. That's a very, very simple one. I like all those hallways. Through here, I'm not going to do the whole elevator, but in Bonnieville, there's a couple of cool little extra things I put in. Most notably is this very big window that looks over to the Roxy Raceway. I think this is very, very cool. It looks very nice, I think. I wish this was in the game, but I get why it wasn't. But man, I think that is a very cool view. And right over here, with this wall, is another entrance to the West Arcade. I added a couple extra things as well that weren't cut content from Ruin. This is one of them. This is obviously the gay Bonnie room, where you see that Bonnie is gay. And there's also the area behind the bowling alleys or whatever. I wanted to do the Bonnie death room too, and it is in the map, but it's not where it's supposed to be because it clips into the raceway, if it's correct. I don't think there's anything down this hallway, but I think it's cool because I don't think a lot of people know this, is that this hallway and staircase actually lead to Fazer Blast, so you can get there easier. I think that's most of the stuff on this side. There's also this door right over here, but that doesn't go anywhere important. You can see there's a door right over there. That'll be useful later, or come up later, I should say. On this other side, with L Chips and Mazer size, there is this door right over here. Inside is a new back hall. This goes out to the atrium. That's not a very interesting one. This one goes to L Chips. And I do want to talk about L Chips in a minute because there's something relevant in there. This is just some extra Fazer Blast like walls and such for them to put up, I guess. And down the staircase leads all the way down to the daycare. And this area right here has quite a few extra things. Like this goes out to this hallway. There's the bakery down there. This staircase goes up to this lighthouse, the slide, and this door goes out to the daycare. I think it's quite nice. Daycare also has this door down here. This one isn't as crazy. That doesn't go anywhere, but it does loop around to Kids Cove, and as does this door right over here, leading to the little arcade, which is very, very nice. don't think there's too much in daycare. There is this little area, but this doesn't actually lead anywhere. There's this very small segment of a hallway. Originally in the game, it leads all the way down to the bakery hallway, but that's not in the game. There's also this door in between the bathrooms. This goes down, and this connects to a couple things. Notably, here is Gator Golf. This is the security office for Gator Golf. Rather nice. But over here leads to a utility tunnel. This is one of the cut utility tunnels, technically. This actually is a little preset that's used a couple other times in Security Breach, but I don't know if people actually know that. It's just a small little utility tunnel. There's not a lot of interesting things in here. Nothing particularly important. But it leads down to here, and this staircase goes all the way back up and leads you to Kids Cove and the entrance to Gator Golf. It's just a nice little accessibility thing. Though I did not remove the elevator to Bonnie Bowl, I did remove the elevator to Gator Golf, because this is a whole hallway that's never in the game, and I think this looks really cool. This door doesn't go anywhere. I think with this one, it would have led to a hallway sticking out of this, if I had to guess, but none of that is here, so I couldn't do that. It's a very simple hallway, but I think it adds a lot. I think it adds a lot of immersion. It replaces the elevator on this side with this big shack doors. I quite like Gator Golf. I forgot how much effort I put into these stupid trees. But there's not too much cut content in here, I don't believe. That's okay. It looks nice. I like the fireflies. I'm hyping myself up. There is this door in the back. This is just a little room from Ruin. I think this is like the Bonnie Pinata. That's where you get that, I think. I don't actually know. I don't remember too much. Thankfully, that knowledge is slipping away from me, and soon I will be free. What a world that would be, right?
The hell are you talking about?
In El Chips, I did unfortunately not remove these walls between the East Arcade and El Chips, though that would have been very cool, and I did plan for it. You can see there's the outline. The cut version of the East Arcade is actually very, very different to the one that's in the game. Along with this curvy bit that connects the two rooms, the layout is practically completely different. It is much larger. You can see that there's this wall over here that just is this very thick wall. This doesn't exist. And the East Arcade is just this giant room sprawling from over there all the way to over here, and I didn't like that. I liked it this way, and I felt that if I were to change this over here to how it is in the cut version of it, I'd have to do all that too, and that changes the entire room, and I don't want to do all that. So sorry about that, but you know, if you wanted to see that, you could have done it yourself. The Rockstar Row had a couple of interesting things in there. For one, I don't know if anyone noticed this about the carpeting of this hallway specifically, but it's the exact same carpet as seen under Bonnie's corpse in Ruin. So I wanted to commemorate that by putting Bonnie's death room in Rockstar Row, where he clearly died. That's where he died, in Rockstar Row. And there's proof because of the carpet. You can see the carpet is the exact same color. So that's proof of it. More importantly, for Rockstar Row, there is the backstage. This is an area that had been removed from the game, but was still visible through this back window in the office of this bit. So you could see it, but you could never enter it. I made the whole thing, and you can enter it. So there it is. This is it. It's very, very large. It's not very well lit, but it's not very well lit in the game. And this connects to a couple different things. This is over here, this side of the Rockstar Row. There's the staircase. I don't want to walk all the way up it, so I'm just going to fly all the way up it. That has this door, or the salon, actually. Over here in the middle of the room is the atrium. There was a platform you could walk on up here. And then on this side, the staircase I do have to walk down, unfortunately. But this one, if I get low enough, if I get low enough, if I get low enough to the bakery right here. So it's very good for connecting things. And then if you went even further down with this staircase, though it was removed, so I didn't add it, it went down to parts and service. I'm sure some of you have played the content restored, and that is where that goes. Actually, I'm not sure if any of you have. You're all children. Do you even play games? This door doesn't go anywhere, though it does lead to this stage. This little cutout area. I didn't want to remove the cutouts because the door is like a block lower, and it would have been kind of annoying. But we've got, this is directly behind the stage. There's this large curtain. Like, this is the show stage. You can see it there. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just a big empty room. There's not a lot to it here, but I think it looks pretty cool, and I like that it's here. There's this little caged off area that doesn't go nowhere. It's pretty cool, I think. But down this hallway, there is another thing. This is the VIP room. This was, I assume, a bar for adults to hang out in while their kids, I don't know, like went around to play with Freddy Fazbear. Then they also have like this children's bathroom. So I don't know. It's odd. It doesn't exist anymore, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But there's that room. This door right over here leads to this back hallway. One of the more annoying parts in the game. This leads to a staff kitchen. I didn't show this area with the lights off. There's the lights off. Very nice. There's not a lot to say. It's just another kitchen. They got the ovens, and they got all the kitchen junk all over. This leads out to this little storage room. They got a vent. The vent leads out to the hallway again. This vent leads out to the hallway again. Yeah. But in this back hallway, there's a couple extra hallways. These all lead to here in the green rooms. The little entrance to the green rooms is just some extra hallways that go down, and you can get into the green rooms easier, I suppose. They're not too interesting in any of them, though. I added a couple of things, in specific things, to Roxy Raceway. There, or in the salon. The salon had quite a few of these just shut off doors. I let you open all those, so now you can get over to the raceway a lot easier through this door, this big door right here. Is that to the raceway? There's the window. That looks very cool, I would say. But I wanted to add another ruin room, and this was the perfect place for it. This is the little entrance to the log ride. The log ride itself does not fit, but I have the entrance in here, and I think this looks really nice. It's very cluttered. It's very different than the rest of the building, obviously because it's ruined, I suppose. But this is where you get on the log ride and it take you off uh, to the ride, but you can't get on the ride here. Unfortunately, the actual ride, which was down here, is I couldn't fit it because of the kitchen stuff, and the kitchen stuff took priority over the ruin stuff. But there is this little hallway. This goes on up here. I don't think this door opens, and it also leads back around to this back room of the salon where Princess Quest 1 is at. It's very, very cool. I like ruin. I like ruin stuff. I should add more. I won't. But I could. Keep you on your toes. In the raceway, there's a couple of things, but there is this hallway. Looks like that door doesn't open all the way. So if I had to guess, that's probably intentional because there's beams. And this just leads out. This is also one of the hallways that was shown, but was never at. There's a picture of that hallway that was shown. It's there's not a lot in here that I changed or added or anything. There is some stuff down below, but that will require that's gonna be a little bit later. But there is right over here. This back room, if you played Ruin, you'll remember this actually leads to Bonnie Bowl. This does not lead to Bonnie Bowl anymore, or originally, because they're not that close to each other. Down this bit, there is a staircase, and this staircase leads right on up to between Fazer Blast and the Raceway again. So, if I go back down here, and go back through this endo cage area for whatever reason, is another utility tunnel, and this one leads all the way to Fazer Blast and Fazer Blast's security office specifically. There we are. Nice and easy. There's Toy Freddy poster. And I think that's actually the only one that is added to this area. I don't think anything else was added, to my knowledge. Here in the utility tunnels, or this first staircase that you go down in the game, there is an extra hallway with this pink wall. This is all diagonal. How annoying is that? And this just kind of is like a go-kart storage area for some reason. I'm not quite sure the point of this room, because then you'd have to like lug all those go-karts up the stairs, and that sounds annoying because there's no elevator. It's just the staircases, so that sounds awful. This staircase leads up to the ending of the fire thing with Roxy. It's through there. And then it goes all the way back. It goes all the way up to the little bumper car bit. Nothing too much there. In the kitchen over here, I added back in the vat room, which was this giant room with, I assume, syrup vats or something. It is this giant pillars. You like zoom out from right here. I don't know what was this room was. I'm glad they cut this one. This one sucks. This door goes to this area, but this room is flooded. and I didn't want to remove the water. So with all the cut areas, I also added in something of my own. This is this little area with a broken staff bot. It's fenced off normally. But so you can go down here, and I wanted to. I guess you'll see it when I open the door. Is this little lobby area? This is the lobby I had built, and I guess you never saw because I never released it, and I may never will. But it's got a whole map of the entire Pizzaplex. You can see up here. That's the Princess Quest stuff. That's the golf stuff, which I'll show you later. This is the Balloon World stuff, which I'll show you later. There's the exterior. I don't know if I showed that. If I didn't, I will do that in a minute. It's just a whole map. I just thought it'd be nice. This room has all the player heads that are used. I don't know why I made this room, but I thought it'd be fun. There's all the guys. I didn't make most of these. A couple of them I did, but most of them I did not. This one's just a gray square. It's not even textured. And then over here I got the two chuds, the Endo and Burn Trap. The Burn Trap in the pod does not have any pants. This is just what he looks like. He looks kind of lame, but that's okay because Burn Trap looks kind of lame. These ones, a couple of these ones I did make. I made these guys. I don't know if I made that one. I didn't make that one. And then these are bowling balls. I made all the presents. I made a couple of these, I think. It's hard to remember. Yeah, these are all the heads, and I have this little flavor text stuff, but I'm not going to show you those. This is the prop gallery. I made a prop gallery for some reason. This is just all of the, or a big bunch of the very common props throughout the game. And down this hall is more of the construction and kitchen stuff, because there's quite a bit of that around. This is like utility, garbage. There's like a big blue square, stuff like that. And the original reason I had built any of this was because of this room, which was all the arcade machines. When I was building the arcades, I wanted to make sure that the arcade machines were accurate. So I had built every single one in the game and labeled them so I could easily pick them up and move them in there. And then I found out later that different versions of the game, I think, just have different arcade machines for some reason. So it was kind of pointless. But it is every single arcade machine in the game, so I guess that counts for something. This one doesn't have a name. I don't know. That's kind of the lamest thing I could do, I think. And then through this door is the more FNAF themed ones, because some of them were more specific and some of them were more generic. There's Mad Science with Dr. Scraptrap. Everyone loves that guy. And then these ones at the end are ones that had actual games, but you can't play them. And the last room in this is what it looks like lit. I think it looks pretty nice. This is where you would spawn in. So it's just an information board. There's me in a cage. This one's more based off of the prize counter. Here's some credits. And I don't know. I'm not going to show all this text. Oh, this is helpful because I can show you the exterior now. There it is. It's just a bunch of trees. However, the trees are all accurate. It is one tree rotated different ways because it is how it is in the game, but it is also a completely accurate one tree that is rotated multiple times because that's how it is in the game. So that counts for something. Maybe. Oh yeah, there's FNAF 4 down there. I don't know why. Here's FNAF 4. As for the pizzeria, underground pizzeria. Oh, right. I did add a couple of things down here because this area keeps being revisited in a couple games. So I added in as the big van head this little room where you get the Vanny mask taken off. There's the inhibitor. There's Princess Quest 4. It's all that jazz and junk and whatever. Mimic chuds are gonna enjoy what I have down here though. Well, here's the blob. You can tell he's old. You can tell he's old because he still has birch buttons for ears instead of pale oak ones. Stop that! And down here, to the burn trap dungeon, there is, of course, the man himself, the burn trap. But through here, there is one of the ruin rooms. This is, Jesus Christ, this is over textured. I guess it is in the game too, so I'm fine with that. This is where Candy Cadet is. I didn't make Candy Cadet though. Lol. This is where J-Top's pending review of Carnival is. Perhaps a teaser for Carnival, but J-Top didn't ever respond, so I don't know what it was. And this is where the cave would be. That massive, giant underground cave, but it didn't. Well, one, I didn't want to build a cave, and two, it didn't fit. But I also didn't want to build a cave. Building caves sucks, especially ones that are that big. I guess maybe I have to at some point if I ever want to actually continue Ruin. I did build a couple bits of Ruin. I never showed you guys, mostly because I don't like you guys. I have like the daycare and Monty Golf in the lobby, but I never built it. And there's this door right here. I don't think it leads anywhere important though. So I guess I'll leave it alone. There are a couple other things I wanted to show you. This down here was my plan for Balloon World, and I think my plan is still feasible, but I didn't want to do all of it. Essentially, you would just move the player along this rather than being parkouring it. It would slide the player along, and whenever you jumped, it would make Balloon Boy jump. Was the basic idea, but I'm not good enough at commands to have figured that out. I think it is very much feasible though, and there's the parallax going on with all the different trees in the mountain, which I think looks really good. And then back here is just a bunch more stuff, and a bunch more stuff, and it's just a bunch of different frames of what the screen would have been. I think this might have been a little bit overzealous though, admittedly. This is where it would start, is with Balloon Boy, and it would. I guess the idea was it would teleport the sections to you. Looking back, that's probably not the best way to do it, but it could just teleport to them. But what do I know? I didn't make the map. And then there is Monty Golf, which is all of these giant black cubes. This was, I think, all of the Monty Golf levels 1-to-1, and then I never showed anybody. All of the trees are 100% accurate. Every single one of these trees back here that you can't even see are correct. These are all correct. I never finished because the idea. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's disgusting. Maybe I shouldn't have finished. Ew. The idea was that it would. I'll see if I can get the footage for some of the ideas. You would actually be playing golf and you'd hit the ball and it'd roll around and land in there and whatever. And these are gross looking. Ew. But I built all 9 holes. So here's hole 1. This is just a Monty Golf themed one. I think hole 2 that's hole 9. Where's hole 2? Akatua, right, guys? Do you guys still think that's funny? Here's hole 2. This one's FNAF 1 themed. In building this, I recall learning the very, very drastic lack of walls in the game. As you can very clearly see with Bonnie's disgusting color palette, and Freddy's disgusting color palette, and Chica's disgusting color palette, and Foxy looks fine. Why they don't have enough walls? What's up with that? It's just a big show stage. That's kind of cool. I like how they look. It's just the colors are terrible. If the colors were more consistent, I think these look really, really good. Here's hole 3. This was a FNAF 2 themed one. You'd whack it, and there's a bunch of cupcakes sliding around and such. I don't think these are on, but they do move. And you just go down here. There's this tube, this little tunnel. Nothing too crazy in this one. This is hole 4. It's like a mangle vent kind of one. You'd whack it up there. There's Mangle. I think Mangle looks pretty good, actually, for the scale it's at. I mean, they could always be better. I did build these a long time ago. I could probably do them a lot better now, but I think they look pretty nice for the most part. They never did a FNAF 3 hole for some reason. I don't know why. I think this is hole 5. This is like the dessert one. I don't know. It's fine. It's kind of ugly. There's a little couple of cupcakes hanging out. I thought that was really cute. And there's the giant Mr. Cupcake. Yuck, I think. Here's hole 6. This one's baby themed for some reason. I don't. But then there's like FNAF 4 stuff at the end. I don't get the theme of some of these, to be honest. But there's Circus Babies. There's 2 of her, and these are just the plush babies. What you come over here, and there's FNAF 4 sister location dark room. There's a giant baby, which I don't know. I think she turned out pretty good. You can't really see her, so it doesn't really matter. I don't get the theme for this one at all. This one's daycare themed. We got Sun and Moon. I think these guys are probably the best looking ones in this whole area. I think these guys look really good. There's Sun. There's Moon. The Prismarine doesn't look as bad on him. And there's this big pixel art of Moon's face, which I think looks pretty good, actually. I'm surprised I could do that. I probably couldn't do that now. I think I suck at this game. Where is hole 8? Where's hole 8? Here's hole 8. It's like a ball pit with Balloon Boy. Balloon Boy, Nightmare Balloon Boy would go up and down. Here's a fun fact, though. Nightmare Balloon Boy's eyes very slowly pop out of his skull. So if you just kind of like sit in this hole for a long period of time, his eyes will slowly start like coming out of his head. It was gross. I don't think that's intentional. And there's Balloon Boy. I think he looks pretty nice. I think he looks cute. That's just what he looks like. The hair didn't really work. Whatever. Doesn't matter. And here, all the way over here, is hole 9. My hell on earth. I think I spent several hours on this because of the damn trees, because I'm a lunatic and made all of the trees completely accurate. Every single branch is in there. They're all correct. All of these vines going around are correct. This tree that's a nice looking tree, but it's correct. The trees back here that you can't see are all correct. You can't see most of these. You're sitting here the whole time. You can't even see them. But they're all correct. There's a big hologram Monty. and there's a little Monty, and there's Freddy in the garbage. I guess at the end of the day, love and joy wins the race. I think that's the message. I think that's the message of this whole security breach Minecraft build. Love and joy, guys. I think that's it.
And don't forget Burn Trap. Right, guys?
I love life.
And Burn Trap. Right, guys?
I love life.
Guys. I'm downstairs.